Here's part one of my story. I don't know how many parts there's going to be, but there's been a lot of lessons learned. And if my story can help anybody, one person, see things a little different, then I'm going to tell my story. So let's start at the beginning. I was adopted in between 3 and 4 months old. I've never had a negative feeling about being adopted. I always felt from the beginning that I was special, really, that somebody wanted me. I wasn't just a baby that was unwanted. And I felt that God had, later in life, when I understood God, was baptized when I was fairly young. I just thought God took my life and said, "You're going over here." So I went over there. I was adopted into a nice family. They were, Christians. We went to church. We went to church camps. I had a good life. I mean, we went to good schools. My parents worked very, very hard to give us what they wanted. They were both sharecroppers growing up. Their families were, so they didn't have anything. They worked very, very hard. I always felt different. I was always looking, I guess, for love. And it wasn't that I wasn't getting it, but I just felt so different than the people that I loved, my siblings. I never took the negative side of adoption. But I left home truly feeling the need to prove myself. My parents are still married even today. They 74 years of marriage. Vision of marriage that I got when I left home wasn't a positive one. I pretty much got to where I viewed marriage as almost kind of like a prison. I hate to say that, but control. And that was not something I was interested in. So when I left home, that was kind of in my mind. There was no physical abuse or anything like that in my family. And that's not my story to tell. So I'm not going to go there. But I also left home with not much confidence. It was a pretty critical home for me. Performance was the way to get love. Performance, great grades, be number one on the tennis team. All of that proved to be really the most important part. I loved it when I got praise. And so I left home and went to a junior college first and then ended up at a major university, all paid for by my parents. So let's don't say that I